Okay, so it looks like we're finally going to be seeing the end of Will and Jada, because Jada is finally divorcing after finding out that he, Will Smith, allegedly infected her with herpes. I don't really know what to say, but it just went from messy to straight up nuclear. And suddenly all those were separated but still married interviews are starting to get a bit different, because now insiders are saying that this wasn't just a quiet breakup behind the scenes. This was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And if you've been paying attention, Jada has been dropping hints for a while now. The interviews got colder, the answers got sharper, and the energy was given sick and tired of Will's BS. But this is where the story gets crazy. See, for years people dragged Jada like she was the one only moving wild in the marriage. The entanglement, the interviews, the constant oversharing. She took the heat every single time. Meanwhile, Will was seen as the perfect husband. Until now. Because the story that's just starting to come out is way darker than people expected. We're talking long-term cheating, secret arrangements, and him allegedly catching herpes from his side pieces and infecting Jada. Yes, this completely changes how you look at everything from what they've been telling us for years. So the real question is, why did Jada even stay this long with Will? And why is she finally speaking up and getting a divorce now? Let's break it down. Okay, so this just might be the most toxic thing we've ever had to deal with when it comes to Will and Jada. At least it means the chaos is about to come to an end, if it's true. But if you've been keeping up with the drama, then you already know that Jada has been low-key soft-launching the announcement of a divorce for a minute now. We should have suspected this when Jada hit that interview where she was asked if she would ever let Will move back in with her. And from her response, it was pretty obvious that she was done with him.
So are y'all living together?
It's just this beautiful connection. We will.
Look at that.
Not right now.
But you will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's.
Why do you say that with such
Clarity.
Because that's what it's gonna be.
That's where it's headed.
Yeah.
and you both were on that page?
Yeah. And you know, but right now I really do enjoy my space.
Yeah.
You know, I've been living
Alone?
I am my mother's only child.
Yeah.
Right? And so having this time that I've had to myself has been fantastic. Just to get to know me, you know, even to have my house exactly how I want it. I don't have to be like, well, what color do you want this for? You know what I mean? I can just do it.
You're the chooser.
I'm the chooser.
You're the chooser.
Right.
So when you imagine your life back together, because I'm sure you've seen it, how does that look to you?
We don't know yet.
You'll build that.
We'll build that. And it'll be something new.
And in another interview, she straight up admitted that Will never made her happy in all the years they were married.
And so it took me a long time to realize it is not his responsibility to make you happy. He can't. It's impossible. But it took me forever. Hard-headed, stubborn, you know, because that romantic idea. And that's why I talk about checking the boxes. It's like I did everything I was supposed to do. You get to have your dream. How come I'm not having mine? And that's because Will was doing what he wanted to do.
He was making himself happy.
He was making himself happy.
And he says that to you, doesn't he? He says, when you separate, he says he wants you to go and
He's like, go
make yourself happy.
make yourself happy.
This kind of reminds me of the time that she admitted that Will could never satisfy her in bed. She said that unprovoked, when the fans started to drag her for humiliating him, she tried to take it back, claiming that they were taking things out of context. She tweeted, "Only because I got time today. Stop making up headlines. Watch the Red Table Talk I did with Gwyneth Paltrow for yourselves. Will and I have never had an issue in the bedroom. Thank you." And when you factor in the whole entanglement drama with August Alsina and Will almost getting canceled for slapping Chris Rock for making a joke about Jada, well, you can kind of see why people feel like Jada is the villain after all. But it looks like people have got this whole thing wrong, because multiple insiders are now claiming that Will allegedly cheated on Jada for the longest time. He cheated first, and supposedly her affair with August Alsina was payback when she found out about his affair. And like him cheating isn't bad enough, an insider just revealed that Will wasn't exactly careful during his shenanigans, and he allegedly infected Jada with herpes. Yes, that's more than enough to turn anyone into a villain. So Will and Jada were both stepping out on their marriage, but Will was super careful not to get caught. Meanwhile, Jada was very sloppy, and the situation with August Alsina was the start of her getting a lot of hate from fans. But the thing is, there have been reports of Will cheating for years now. People kept kind of turning a blind eye to it. For example, do you remember that time that he hinted at having multiple side chicks? Even admitted that he wanted an entire harem of girlfriends and named some women he wanted in his harem. And according to reports from an interview he did with GQ, during his first meeting with Michaela Boehm, an intimacy coach he spent years working with, Smith confessed that if he could have anything in the world, he'd want a harem of girlfriends. And when the intimacy coach demanded that he name women he wanted in his harem, he named Misstee and Halle Berry. But it didn't end there, because he and the interviewer then went on to research more women he could have in his harem. They even came up with a plan to contact the women. So not only was he fantasizing about other women, but he came up with a strategic plan to contact multiple women to get down and dirty with them. When you read between the lines, it's not hard to figure out that he probably ended up getting nasty with other women instead. He even defended his decision to sleep around, saying, "I don't know where I saw it or some ish as a teenager, but the idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of and all that, it seemed like a really great idea." But y'all, it gets even crazier, because according to him, Jada never wanted a conventional marriage. He said Jada never believed in a conventional marriage. Jada had family members who had an unconventional relationship, so she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. And for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection. So according to Will, somewhere down the line, they both realized that monogamy wasn't the right thing for them. And Will said, "Marriage for us can't be a prison, and I don't suggest our role for anybody, but the experiences, that the freedoms that we've given one another and the unconditional support to me is the highest definition of love." So yeah, that's some nasty business, but I don't want to yuck you up, Will and Jada. It just kind of explains why Jada never wanted to marry him in the first place. It was almost like she could sense that he was going to be on some BS. But she didn't exactly have a say in the matter, because let her tell it, her mother forced her to go through with the wedding.
I really didn't want to get married, but
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
I was under so much pressure, you know, being a young actress, being young, and I was just like pregnant. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. But I just knew, I was like, I never wanted to be married.
And oh, it gets even nastier, because the rumor mill has been spinning with rumors that Will also cheated with multiple men. Sources are claiming that Will has supposedly spent millions of dollars wiping the internet clean of all mentions of him supposedly being on the DL. But the internet never forgets. You remember when one of Diddy's former bodyguards exposed him for doing some intimate things with another rapper? Well, that bodyguard didn't name any names, but fans quickly put two and two together and realized that the rapper in question was Will Smith.
Puff and his artists run out the room naked. Puff and his artists run out the room naked. And so then I said, I see the artist trying to grab a towel. Puff didn't give a shit. And the artist like, "Yo, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going on?" He's like, "Yo, G, that's my cousin." And I was like, "Yo, my man, he's trying to get in the room, and y'all told me don't let nobody else come in, let nobody come in this room. Jesus Christ going to have to come take the Puff. No, Jesus going to have to take the air out of my body if anybody coming in that room." And Puff.
Or when Trisha Paytas claimed that Will allegedly forced her male dancers to do the nasty with him.
Jada Pinkett really good. Listen, how about worry about your daughter being naked in bed at 13 with her 20-year-old boyfriend on the internet? How about worry about that? How about worry about your cheating husband my male dancers, you know, when they didn't want to? How about talk about that?
And there's also Will's former assistant who claimed that Will allegedly had a gay affair with actor Dwayne Martin.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, what? But I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing her. Murder. It was murder in there.
And if you remember, there were rumors from the early 2000s or late 90s that Dwayne and Will's weird friendship was putting a strain on his marriage to Jada. According to reports, Will spends significantly more time with Dwayne than he does with Jada and the kids. And as time goes by, Jada's growing more upset about it. Jada can't stand Will's relationship with Dwayne. She feels like Will flaunts it in her face, hanging out with him every day and taking him on exotic vacations while she's sitting at home alone. And not only did Bilal claim that Will allegedly forced Jada to peg him, but he also wanted to engage in a four-way with Diddy and Jennifer Lopez, if you know what I'm talking about.
This ain't a bash Will thing.
So, with Will and Jada allegedly trying to get Diddy and J-Lo in a foursome, Diddy gay?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, and I don't want to speculate, because it could have been him fucking Jada and Will looking. Will thing, Jada thing to Will is the strap on. So I don't know how that would
Jada's
go. But
allegedly pegging Will from the back.
Well,
she owned that.
Yeah. And it shows. And the behavior shows, but...
Now, considering that Diddy and J-Lo were both together in the late 90s and early 2000s, it kind of tells us what Will has been up to with these shenanigans for a minute. Well, Jaguar Wright also tried to tell us about Will's creepy relationships with young men who he pretends to mentor.
And young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
So yeah, Will has been wilding right in front of our eyes, allegedly, but this PR team has been doing an amazing job of burying the news before fans start to pay attention to them. And if you're wondering why Jada didn't leave, well, it has nothing to do with love and everything to do with money, because they did not sign a prenup. Well, that was before she found out that he allegedly infected her with herpes, but that was the moment that she finally decided that enough was enough, and she called it quits, allegedly, and they've been separated for years, and now she's finally ready to take things to the next step and rid herself of Will once and for all. And just like that, the marriage that everybody thought would be forever is now crashing out in the messiest way possible. But if this diagnosis really is what broke everything for good, then this isn't just a breakup, it's a fallout they can't spin their way out of. And trust me, once the full story comes out, it's going to hit way harder than anyone expected.